As a thank you to all of you who have supported us up to this point, and in celebration of the Scrub Academy reaching 1,000 subscribers, our brand new mat with the Scrub Academy's mascots will be given away to 2 viewers. To be entered, you'll need to be subscribed and comment on any video posted between now and the end of November. If you comment on multiple videos, each new comment will be counted as a new entry. Winners will be announced at the end of November. Enjoy the rest of today's video.
What's going on, guys? This is Nate from the Scrub Academy welcoming you to another test hand video here on the channel. Today we are doing some test hands of my Fluffal Shaddoll Hero deck, the BarnYard Hero deck that I profiled earlier in the week. This is a really fun deck. It is 60 cards, which is why you see 2 piles ahead of you. I already pile shuffled. I just got done doing the deck profile, so I'm trying to make sure these are nice and shuffled for you guys. That way we can do some test hands. We're going to be doing some test hands going first, as well as going second, just to see how this deck would fare, depending on what it's going against, and or if we're going first or second, depending on what duel it is, what round it is, what match it is, etc. So we've got 60 cards here. This deck is comprised of Fluffal, Shaddoll, and Hero. Now I know that sounds like a lot, but bear with me. It is a really fun deck to play with. You get to do a lot of fun plays depending on what you open up in your hand. So we're gonna play through it. Hopefully I don't do any misplays here. We're just gonna see what we can end on the board, whether we're going first, second, if we're gonna OTK, if we're gonna set up some fields, that way our opponent can't do anything, etc, etc. If you do see any combos that I could have missed, make sure to let me know that in the comment section below, because I like seeing the misplays. I like knowing what I could do better. I like learning. That is why we're in Academy. We are all scrubs here, so thank you and welcome to the class. So let's go ahead. We'll finish up shuffling real quick. I am going to be cutting between shuffling later on, just so this isn't too long of a video. I'm guessing it's going to be like 15 to 20 minutes anyway, but let's go ahead and find out. All right, so we've gone ahead and we've shuffled our deck. We're going to give it to our opponent, and they're going to cut it. It is all randomized. They're cutting it. Okay, now they're commenting about how big the deck is. What is going on? All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to roll our dice to see if we're going first or second. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll do high or low. We always do high because we're always getting high on the channel. We have rolled a 10. Our opponent is going to roll a 8. All right, so we have won the dice roll. All right, so we don't know where our opponent is playing, so we don't know what we want to set up. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to let them go first. So let's go ahead. We'll see what we open up with. We got ourselves a Foolish Burial Goods, a Polymerization, Shaddoll Schism, Patchwork, and a Factory. Now, like I said, this deck is kind of interesting when it comes to doing everything first and second. Lots of plays to go around with. I did just do the deck profile, so which is why you're seeing this right here. I did shuffle, but again, you never know what you could run into. So we don't have anything to stop our opponent from doing any plays. That is fine. They're going to go ahead. They're going to go first. They're going to set up their field. We're going to go ahead and draw for turn, going second, and we have a Fusion Deployment. Now, the Fusion Deployment can special summon if we want to, but it will lock us into fusions. So we're going to try and stay away from that for now. You can do that later on, I believe. Let's see. Reveal 1 fusion from your extra deck or special summon from your hand or deck. One of the fusion materials whose name is on the card, except fusion monsters. The turn you activate this card, you can only special summon monsters from the extra deck that are fusions the turn you activate this card. So even if you activate this later on in the turn, it does lock you out. So we're going to go ahead and set this off to the side. I don't want to deal with that right now. So that's right there. So this is what we've got going on with us right now. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start off with a Fright for Patchwork. Now Patchwork's going to add a Edge Imp as well as a Polymerization. We already have 1 Polymerization in our hand, but let's just see what we can do. The one downfall of having a big deck like this is it's really hard to find things. All right, so we have our Polymerization. We're going to be looking for our Chain. So Chain is going to be what we want right now, just because we have already activated our Patchwork, but we haven't activated Chain's effect. So we do have a Fright for Factory in our hand as well, so we can add our Fright for Fusion and try and OTK our opponent. So that sounds like a lot of fun. Alrighty, so let's go ahead. We've shuffled our deck back up after that Fright for Patchwork. We'll give it to our opponent. They'll go ahead and cut the deck. Alright, so now this is what our current hand is. We do have a Foolish Burial Goods. We always want a deck thin here, so we're going to activate that Foolish Burial Goods. We're going to be looking for and sending a Toy Bundle. It happened to be right on the bottom, which is really nice for us. Now we're going to be trying to see what we want to add. Most times here, I want to add the dog, because we can add. But I don't want to run into summoning the dog and having them hit me right away with anything. But if they would have hit us with any kind of hand traps at all, it probably would have been with either the Foolish Burial Goods or the Patchwork. So we'll go ahead and we'll add the dog. You just gotta be careful there. You don't want to normal summon that dog and not have anything else going on with you, and just getting hit with like an Ash Blossom or a Draw and Lock or anything like that. But if they would have hit us, they would have already hit us, so we're gonna pretend like they didn't have anything. Alright, so from there we're gonna be normal summoning our dog. Now dog can do one of 2 things here. You do have a toy vendor already on the field. So we do have a dolphin play here, if you want. But you can't normal summon again, so that's kind of hard for us. You can go ahead and add the bear to send for a toy vendor, or you can add a wings. There are lots of things you can do here. What I want to do is actually add the penguin. Now, penguin's going to allow us to draw 2 and discard 1. That could dig deeper into our deck, get to Shaddolls, get into anything that might help us. Alrighty, so now that we've done that, we are going to be activating our very first polymerization of the duel. We're going to use the penguin and the chain here. Say they have something on the field that we want to get rid of. That is completely fine. We're going to summon out our Kraken. Now, Kraken's effect is you can send 1 monster from the field to the graveyard, and then he can't attack the turn directly, or you can attack directly twice for the turn, and then he goes to switch to defense. So we're going to have him on the field. We're going to have chain links here. We're going to have chain link 1 penguin, chain link 1 penguin, chain link 2 chain. So we're going to add off the chain first and then draw. So the chain is going to be adding any card in our deck that has Frightfur in the name. We've already activated Patchwork on this turn, so we don't want to add that right now. We're trying to OTK. We already have the factory as well, so we're going to be looking for our Frightfur Fusion. There it is, adding the Frightfur Fusion. And we're going to see what we can do. Alright, so we've got our deck, we're shuffling it up, we're getting things going. So we've searched. Now we're going to be drawing, so we're going to let our opponent cut our deck real quick. They've cut the deck. Alright, so now this is what we've got in our hand. We're going to draw 2. Owl and a Frightfur Patchwork. Now we don't need the Patchwork, that can be good for later, but we are trying to OTK this turn. Now, one thing that I'm seeing in my current hand that I don't think I'm going to need right now is a Shaddoll Schism. I don't have anything that could send a Shaddoll to the grave, and I don't have anywhere to go with it. So I could send this for later on for the Patchwork, and I think I'm going to do that so I can get the Patchwork in my hand. So from there, we're going to activate Frightfur Kraken's effect. We'll send whatever they have on their field to the grave. So now we can't attack directly this turn, but we can get around that. So what we're going to do is activate our second polymerization using our dog and our Kraken, going into our Sabertooth. Now Sabertooth's effect is going to special summon one of our Frightfurs in the grave. So there's that for us. So now we have this on the field. Now Sabertooth gives 400 attack to each monster on the field. So he's at 26, he's at 28. Now with this, he can attack twice. So if I've already used his effect, but we can do it again since he came back. Now, depending on what they have on their field, we can activate its effect, send whatever we want to the graveyard. He can't attack directly, but if there's any other monsters, he can attack once for 26, and then there's 28 right there. Now, if we want to keep going with this, we can. We do have the Frightfur Fusion. Now, the Frightfur Factor we can't really use right now, just because we've already used our 1 Sabertooth, but we can go ahead and activate the Fusion if we want here. Now that's going to be banishing out of our graveyard, so we can banish our chain and either one of our penguin or our dog. We can go ahead and banish our dog there. We're not going to need that anymore. We do still have this deployment in our hand, we're just not using it right now. And then we can go into... So we can go either into the sheep or we can go into the whale. If we're trying to go for game here, I'm going to go for the whale, just because we don't really need to have anything for that right now. So this is our ending hand. We've popped, we've attacked, we have 26, 26, 28, as well as 3,000. If that isn't good enough, if we haven't OTK'd them, we can go into this. This is a negate for us, we have that. Later on, we can go into this if we want. If we didn't want to go into this play right here, so say we're still sitting right here, we haven't attacked yet, that's cool. We can, since we haven't done anything else yet, right? We haven't done any sort of linking plays and exceeding plays, we can activate the fusion deployment, and we can reveal either the sheep or the tiger. Now, sheep or tiger, depending on what we want to do here, let's go for the tiger. So we've revealed the tiger, and we're going to be special summoning. So we're looking for the Edgem Sabers, and we can special summon it. Now we're stuck into the OTK potential of only going into fusions. We can't do anything else, which is fine. We don't need to worry about that. So now we've got the Edgem Sabers in the field, we got deployment in the grave. Now we can do one of 2 things here, which is what I really like to do. We can activate the factory. Factory effect is going to banish our polymerization. So polymerization getting banished, activating for the polymerization for the Frightfur Factory, fusing our owl and our sabers together, and that's going to go into our tiger. Now Tiger's effect is going to activate. He can target up to the number of cards used for his fusion. So this is the time we're using the Fluffal Owl and the Saber, so up to 2. So if they have 2 cards on the field still after all of the things that we've done so far, we can go ahead and Tiger, pop 2 cards, or we can do Tiger and pop our Factory, because when Factory is sent to the graveyard, you can add one of your polys that's banished back to your hand. So now, as of right now, with what we've got going on, we've got him giving off. So his effect is you're giving off 300 attack for each Fluffal and Frightfur monster you control. He's giving off 400 to every Frightfur. So he's giving off 3, 6, 9, 12, giving off 4. So 4 plus 12 is 16, so everything on the field is gaining 1600 attack. You've only used the effect of this once. You can use it again if you need to. You could have popped with this if you needed to, and you pop twice with this. So right now, everything's getting 16, right? So he's getting 16, so he's at 4,000 attack by himself. 16 here, so that's what, 3,800? He can attack twice. 16 here, that's 4, that's 52, right? 26, 36, 42. So he's at 42, 16 here, so that's what, 29, 3,500. So if you didn't OTK with all this right here after sending twice here, popping here once potentially, and popping twice here, I don't know what you're doing wrong. There's lots of negates on the field apparently, and you couldn't get through it. But that is the ending board going second, game 1, or opening hand 1. So let's go ahead. We'll shove these back into the extra deck. I'll shuffle up. We've got our Travis, our lovely Travis here as our field center. I'll shuffle up real quick, and we'll jump into our second test hand, and we'll see what we can do. This time we're gonna go first, and we're gonna see if we can set up any kind of board, so I'll see you in a second. Alrighty, so we have shuffled up our deck here. I guess 2 decks. We pile shuffled everything. Now we're gonna make sure that everything's nice and shuffled, and we're gonna hand it off to our opponent. Now this time we are gonna be going first. We OTK'd them last hand. They know we're playing the Fluffals, so they don't want us to OTK them, so they're gonna have us go first, which is understandable. I wouldn't wanna get OTK'd either. The problem with that is for them is that, let them cut the deck. They only saw the Fluffal portion of the deck, right? They haven't seen the heroes, they haven't seen the Shaddolls. So let's see if we can do any kind of draws into the Shaddolls. Let's go see if we can get into the Dark Claw. Let's see, we got the Eat Call, Shaddoll, Chain, Twister, and Foolish Burial Goods. This is actually really good for us. So what we're gonna do, first off, right? So we got the Shaddoll Fusion, which is good, and the Eat Call. So Shaddoll Fusion is gonna be going for the next turn, or if we can draw into anything, we can go there. So we're gonna activate the Foolish Burial Goods first, and we're gonna be sending a Toy Vendor. There's Toy Vendor. Send it off to the grave. Now we're gonna be activating Toy Vendor's effect because it's sent to the graveyard to add a Edgem Sabers or a Fluffal to my hand. So with this, this one is interesting because if I have something in my hand, let's do dog. We'll add the dog because we want to be able to get the Shadow Mist to the graveyard. We want to get the Shadow Mist to the graveyard. So we're going to activate the E-Call, and we're going to add the Shadow Mist. So we'll add the Shadow Mist to our hand. Now what we're going to be doing is actually sending the Shadow Mist at some point. Alrighty. There's our deck all shuffled up for us. Now we're going to be normal summoning the dog. Now we already have a Toy Vendor in the grave. So dog's effect is going to activate, and we're going to be adding. So at this point, I think the most beneficial thing for me to do is add a bear. If I can find one. There's a bear. Now bear's effect we're going to activate, discarding it to set a Toy Vendor. Now the reason we're doing this is because we want to get that Shadow Mist to the grave as soon as possible. So there's our Toy Vendor, and we'll shuffle up. Now this is where it gets interesting. So we have 2 plays here, which is really funny to me. We have 2 plays to get something done, depending on what the luck of our draw is off the Toy Vendor. Just because we have a Twin Twister in our hand. So if all else fails, we can do something with that. So we're gonna activate the Toy Vendor. Toy Vendor's effect, we're gonna discard the Shadow Mist. Now we're not gonna activate the Shadow Mist effect here. So we're gonna discard the Shadow Mist to draw a card. If it's a Fluffal, I can special summon a monster from my hand. If it's not a Fluffal, it goes to the grave. So we draw, it is a Fluffal. This is amazing, oh my gosh. Okay, so from here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be special summoning the Edge Imp chain. Now Shadow Mist is engraved now, so that's good for us. So we're going to be linking off. So what we're going to do is we're going to link off the chain and the dog, and we're going to go into our Cross Sheep. Now Cross Sheep's effect is when a fusion is summoned to one of its zones, it can special summon a monster from the deck, or from the graveyard. Got excited there. So Chain's effect is going to activate, adding the Patchwork right there for us. Beautiful. So we're going to activate the Patchwork. Patchwork's effect is going to be adding a Polymerization and an Edge Imp to our hand. So let's find a Polymerization, and I already saw the Edge Imp I want to add too. Pretty sure. Did I see him? Yes, I did. There he is, the Sabers. All right. So from here, we're still trying to build a board, right? We're trying to build a board. We're trying to make things good for us. So depending on what we get into here, we could have lots of fun. So we're going to be activating the Polymerization first. We're going to be using the Penguin and the Sabers. So with how we're currently set up going first, we're going to want to set up some negates. Easiest way for us to set up some negates is to be summoning our Kraken. Now I know Kraken doesn't do anything, but we can go into a rank 8 later on. So we're going to summon the Kraken. So effects are going to activate. We're going to do Chain Link 1 Sheep, Chain Link 2 Penguin. So Penguin's going to draw 2, discard 1, and then we're going to be special summoning. So we're going to draw 2 here. We're going to draw into a Chain, and we're going to draw into a Windy. Yes, okay. So now the Cross Sheep's effect is going to activate. Now Cross Sheep's is going to be special summoning, you guessed it, our Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist effect is going to be adding, if I can find it really quickly, our Mass Change. So we only play 1 because you don't want to really open up with it. You want to be able to add it. Now if you open it, it's not that bad. It's just kind of a dead card until you get to your Shadow Mist. Alright, so from here, we've got this for us. So we can set our Mass Change. This is going to be for our element of Shadow Mist later on. Now you can link 2 here into your Verte, why am I looking at my side deck? Your Verte Anaconda. Now Verte Anaconda is going to be right there for you. Now what you can do is you can activate your Shaddoll Fusion. Now Shaddoll Fusion is going to be sending your Chain and your Windy to the grave. And that's going to be bringing out your Winda, because it's a dark and a Shaddoll. So that's going to bring out our Winda. Now we can only special summon once more this turn. So do not activate the Windy effect of special summon. Do not do it, do not do it, do not do it. Alright, so from there you can activate the Anaconda's effect, and that's going to be sending. So we're going to be sending our Red Eyes Fusion and our Red Eyes Black Dragon and our Dark Magician. So we got those 2 out relatively easy. There's our Red Eyes Fusion, beautiful. All 3 of them are in the first half of the deck that I just looked into. Alright, so from there, with the Red Eyes Fusion, you're going to be special summoning your Dragoon. Beautiful. Alright. Now you have a Twin Twister in your hand, which you can't even use, unfortunately, but during your opponent's turn. So we pass our turn there, so we've got 2 negates. You have your Winda and you have your Dragoon. Dragoon's there to negate. You have the 1 card in your hand. Beautiful. Winda, you can only special summon once. And their turn, Mass Change, okay, into the Dark Law. They didn't even expect this. What's going on here? So you have 1 special summon, you have a negate, and you can and everything goes to gets banished instead? Shoot. And then you can activate Shadow Mist effect if you need to. It's not even usable now, really. I mean, you can add, so we're going to be adding the Stratos. So if you want to keep that Twin Twisters for the next turn, you can. At that point, you're just deck thinning. But you just do have that negate there for the Dragoon. So you can either discard the Stratos or you can discard the Twin Twisters, depending on what kind of deck they're playing. So if you know they're playing certain decks, if they're back row heavy, you want to keep that Twin Twisters, that's great. You can discard the Stratos. If they're not, you can discard the Twin Twisters, and next turn you can be able to normal summon the Stratos and then add another Shadow Mist that we play. That's also some more fodder for the Dragoon negate. So that is our ending board right there. Dark Law, Winda, Dragoon. I think it's pretty good. Let me know what you think in the comment section, because I want to know what you think about this deck and how crazy it is. I know it can be bricky. I know it can be like crazy depending on what you draw into, because it's all about what you draw into with your toy vendors, with your penguins. But when it goes off, as you can see, it goes off. Alrighty, so we've now won. We're going to our next round. Let's go ahead. We'll pack it up and we'll see what happens in our next test hand. So I'll see you guys in a second. Alrighty guys, we are shuffled up here. I just got done pile shuffling. We're going to shuffle up, hand it off to our opponent, and go from there. Alright, so this is a brand new duelist that we're going against. They don't know what we're playing. They were nowhere near us when we were playing the last time. They're not friends with the person we duel, so they can't give them any inside information. They're gonna cut our deck, compliment how big it is. I'm gonna say, yeah, that's not the only thing big. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And we're gonna roll to see who goes first. All right, so we're gonna go first here. I always roll first. And we're gonna go high, so that's 6. All right, so they're gonna roll. They got a 4. All right, so we don't know what they're playing. They don't know what we're playing. Now, it's a lot easier for me going second because I can play around what they have. Going first, it's hard for me to know what they're playing, just try and figure out what they're gonna stop or what I need to bring out to stop. So we're gonna go second here. We're gonna go ahead and draw our first 5. See if we drew in a nib. That'd be crazy if we did out of 60 cards, but you never know. So we got Foolish Barrel Goods. We have Fluffal Dog, Fluffal Bear, Hedgehog, and Match Change. So we don't have anything that can stop them. We'll let them do their turn, that's fine. Our turn, we're gonna drop a turn here into a Schism. Not the best, not the worst either, not the worst. All right, so from here, I gotta figure out how I wanna do this the right way. So with Hedgehog, we can get into our Schism play really easily. Allow us to go into like a window for next turn if we need to. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna activate the Goods. Goods is going to be sending our Toy Vendor. Toy Vendor is going to be... This is rough here. So Toy Vendor, we can normal summon this to set the Toy Vendor to then do some other stuff there, but then we don't have anything with this. So we're not gonna do that play. We're going to add a... I feel like I wanna add a Penguin here. As stupid as that sounds. We're going back in. So we're going to activate the bear, sending it to... There's all of our freaking nibs right there. Set our Toy Vendor. All right, so we're gonna see if we can do anything crazy here. So we're gonna normal summon our Penguin. Penguin is gonna special summon our Dog. Dog is going to add our Wings. There's the Wings. All right, yeah, so we got that going on there. Gotta shuffle up because we just searched. And if we could draw into a Poly or a Shaddoll Fusion or anything like that, that would be amazing right now, because if not, we're gonna SOL. So we're gonna do this. All right, so we got that. Activate the Toy Vendor. Toy Vendor effect, we're gonna discard the Wings to draw a 1. It is a Foolish Barrel Goods, that's fine. We already used one of those, so it'll just go to grave. Now Toy Vendor is gonna be sent, we're gonna activate the Wings. Banishing it, another Fluffal to draw 1. Nib, great, thank you, appreciate it. Send the Toy Vendor to draw another one. Shaddoll Fusion. All right, so this maybe is good here. Okay, so we're going second still. We're still trying OTK. All right, so we have that. Toy Vendor. So we've got Penguin now. We've got Hedgehog. We've got Dog. I feel like out of all of these, still not that good though, honestly. Not when I want to do certain things. We do have a light though, so this could work for us actually. I feel like to restart my plays I need to do certain things, but at the same time I do want to just get the sabers out of the deck and into the graveyard so I can start using it. You know what I mean? I went right by it, I'm guessing. Did I go right by you? Technically I don't really need to use the Nibiru in her hand, but if I really need to, I can. Alright, so from there we're going to be... Now, I'm gonna walk through some things here as I go. So with this, if it's special summoned with a fusion, so fusion is special on a lower level monster from your graveyard, its effects are negated, which is really nice. So if I link these two away into a cross sheep. Now with that, we can go ahead and activate the fusion with our Hedgehog and our being, our Nibiru. Now this is going to be a light, so we're going to be bringing out our Construct. Where are you at, Construct? So there's a Construct, so we'll have effects going off, chain link 1 cross, or chain link 1 Construct, chain link 2 cross sheep. Now Construct, so we're going to special summon our Penguin, and then we're going to dump 1. So we're gonna be dumping our what do we want to dump here? So if we're trying to pop things, right? So if we're trying to pop things, we're gonna want to send, we can either draw one with the dragon or with the beast, or we can pop one. I would like to draw into a poly, that'd be nice, honestly. Because we already have the schism, so we don't need to worry about that. So let's go ahead, we'll send the beast if I can find it. I'm sure I've gone through it like 3 times. We're gonna send the Squamata, right? So Squamata's effect is gonna activate, then sending the beast, just so we can deck them there. All right, so there's that for us. Now, we're gonna figure out how much God loves me, pretty much. We've got the cross sheaf, we've got that. So we can do that if we need to. So we've got this in the grave. Beast effect is gonna be sending, because it was sent to the graveyard, draw a card. So we're gonna draw a card. Winks, not what I wanted, but it's fine. All right, so from there, I was hoping I could draw into something. Draw into a polymerization, because then I could use the sabers, but that's fine. We're just gonna go straight into our Verte Anaconda. We're going to activate Verte Anaconda's effect, paying the 2,000 life, sending the Red Eyes Fusion, the Red Eyes Black Dragon, and the Dark Magician from my deck to the grave to bring out a Dragoon. So we've got lots of cards in our hand here. We've got a Dragoon on the field now along with a Construct. So that's going to be 2 pops with the Dragoon to do some damage there. We can do the Dragoon attack, we can do the Construct attack, so there's negates there, if we, or there's game there hopefully if we need to. We have the negate with the Dragoon being able to discard any of these, and we can set the Schism effect during my opponent's turn, banishing any of our darks, and a Shaddoll. So we've got negates with that, so we've got a negate with the Dragoon after we've popped and we've attacked, and then we've also have, so we've got negate, and we've got, they can only special summon once. So I think that's pretty good. You guys let me know what you think, guys. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so there is our game 3 going second. OTKing them and possibly stopping them if we didn't OTK. And if we didn't OTK and we stopped them, well then we have OTK potential for the next turn because we're drawing into a Fray for Fusion. And then we can do some stupid stuff there as well. So that is our game 3. Let's go ahead. We'll get a shuffle up for one last game. I'm tired of shuffling this deck. So we're going to go ahead. We'll jump into one last game. We are going to be going first. We just OTK'd them again. I like taking turns like this. So we just OTK'd them. They're making us go first. And we're going to see what we can get into. So give me 2 seconds. I'll shuffle up and I'll be right back. Alrighty. So we have finished pile shuffling up. Or we finished pile shuffling. We haven't finished regular shuffling yet. Let's go ahead. We'll do that. We'll hand off to our opponent. They can cut our deck for us. And then they're going to make us go first this time. We just OTK'd them. They know we have Fluffals and Shaddolls. They don't know we have Heroes though. So that'd be kind of fun to do. So let them cut our deck for us. And then they're going to make us go first. So if we get a Dark Cloud, that'd be pretty dope. If not, that's fine. We've got 5 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's see what we can get going. We have a Polymerization, a Dolphin, a Patchwork, a Mass Change, and a Penguin. So if we could actually get something fun going here with the Mass Change, that'd be pretty funny. So let's go ahead. We will activate the Patchwork first, adding a Polymerization, and from here, do I want to add? So the question here is, do I want to add the Chain or do I want to add the Sabers? That's the big question that we're asking ourselves, because if we add the Sabers, we're good to go there for that play. Chain can get us another Surge if we need to. That is the question. But I feel like a lot of times, we're going to go with the Chain and see what happens. If we end up needing the Sabers, we're going to go back in time and pretend like I added that, you know, for funds. Because this way we can get more discardos. Alright, so we're going to activate the Polymerization with these 2. Oh, baby, yes. Okay, so we're going to send these 2 to the grave to Fusion Summon. Now we're going first here. I feel like the easiest way to get anything going here is probably going to be with our Kraken, because then we can go rank 8s if we need to. So we've got Kraken there. We're going to go Chain Link 1, Penguin, Chain Link 2, Chain. So Chain will add first. We're going to add. And we've already activated the Patchwork, so we're going to search for If I can find it. I probably went right by it. And you guys saw me go right by it too. You're watching, really. You're gonna be watching right at my hand right now as I'm searching through this deck, and you're gonna be able to see where the factory is that I'm searching for. And you could have told me that it was there, but you didn't because you're jerks, so thanks a lot. Make me waste my time. Alright, so we're gonna shuffle because we just searched. And we're drawing, so we're gonna give it to our opponent. They're gonna cut our deck. Boom, boom, boom. Good to go there. Alright, so we're gonna draw 2, discard 1. So we drew into the E-Call, and we drew into the Nibiru. Nibiru is trash for penguins, so we'll discard that. Alright, so from there, we haven't normal summoned yet. But we don't have a Toy Banner Engraved, so that doesn't really do anything for us, really. So we're gonna go activate the emergency call. We're going to add the Shadow Mist, because we already have the Mass Change Comeback card. So from there, we're going to be normal summoning that, which is fine, because we're gonna go Polymerization with the Dolphin and the Kraken. I don't know if this is a good play or not, but we're gonna play with it anyway. Into our Sabertooth. Sabertooth will special summon the Kraken, and then Dolphin's effect will actually shuffle back. I believe it shuffles back. You can shuffle into the deck one of your fusion spells or polymerization spells. So that's going to be our polymerization, so we'll shuffle that back into the deck. We haven't been locked out of anything yet. Kind of wish I had another one of these, but it's fine. So we're just going to go ahead and we'll have this in our hand. We're going to go into a rank 8 here, so we can actually go into rank 8 for once. That's cool. So we've got our Hope Harbinger. It's not the best. Oh man, hold up. Hold up. Hold up. What's more important here? Negating anything, right? Right? I feel like that'd be better than anything else. So we're gonna link 2 there into our Predator Plant Anaconda. We're gonna set our Mass Change. We're gonna activate the Anaconda's effect. Sending the... We're gonna pay 2 to send these 2 suckers to the grave, the 2 bricks. Not the best end going first, but not the worst. You know what I mean? Did I walk right by it again? Of course I did. I swear, you guys are looking right at this and know exactly where it is, but you're not saying anything, so thanks a lot, I appreciate it. Alright, so we'll shuffle real quick. We don't really need to, though. That's not our priority. Sending these to the grave for the... Get that crush out of here. For the Darklaw. Now, so we have, for the Dragoon. So we have Dragoon on the field for a negate. We have 1 in our hand, so we can discard that if we need to. So that's a negate right there for us. If we want to, we could have popped 2 things. We don't need to, though, because we're going first. Their turn, we Mass Change the Shadow Mist into the Darklaw. So we end up with a Darklaw and a Dragoon. Dragoon's going to negate something on their field, and then everything gets sent to the grave. So that's actually pretty good. Ended up being a whole lot better than I thought it was going to be when I drew my hand. So yeah, that is our ending board right there with the Darklaw sending everything that they have going to the graveyard to banish, so that could affect a lot of decks. And then we have a negate. So there's your field. If you did enjoy all of our combos today, make sure to give this video a like, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell on the way out the door, because all your support is greatly appreciated. And I spent a lot of time shuffling this deck, dang it. I'm done with it. I don't want to shuffle anymore. I'm tired of shuffling. So that is all I've got. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button like I said before. If you see any combos in this that I had out of all the cards that I drew off this deck that I could have used to make better boards or different boards or done something different, let me know in the comment section, because I want to learn this deck as much as I can, and you guys might see things, watching this playback that I would not have seen when I'm actually playing the deck. So yeah, that's all I've got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, your support is greatly appreciated. But until next time, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, this is Nathan from the Script Academy, signing out for now. Peace out!